Well, hello. My name is Vivian Stewart. I am one of the librarians of Southwest Tennessee. And before I start this presentation, I have one question for you. How often do you use library resources as compared to using Google? And I want you to think about that throughout this presentation because one of the concerns or challenges that we have as librarians is trying to convince students that library resources are more valuable than using popular search engines all the time. So, my main purpose, in addition to showing you how to use our resources, is I want you to consider using the libraries as your first option instead of as an alternative when nothing else will work for you. This presentation will last about maybe 35 minutes, and there are five things that I would like to do. I want to make sure that you're able to navigate around the library's website. I want to introduce you to information literacy, make sure that you can locate information using several of our resources. I want to introduce you to some tools that will help you with any writing assignments. And at the very end, I want to make sure that you know how to ask for assistance later on. So let's start off by taking a look at our homepage. At the very top, it says, Welcome to the InfoNet Library. And we have 5 locations for our students, faculty, and staff. The next thing you would notice is a collage of different photos from our locations, followed by the announcement that we are now closed. But in order to get online assistance, you can go to Ask a Librarian. Next, we have our mission statement, and this is what we are trying to accomplish throughout the school year. Our primary pages are listed next, which will be our databases. Course reserves is where you would go if you're trying to find out if one of our location has a copy of one of the textbooks that you can use on site. Students have the ability to reserve a study room at one of the campuses to use for a 3-hour period. We have various forms and surveys that we ask students to complete throughout the school year. CyberCat is our online catalog, and WorldCat is a global catalog. Over to the right-hand side, you'll see instant messages, and this is where we perform live chat. Currently, no one is online, but you have the ability to leave us an email. We have a category entitled Links. The next category says Featured Resource. So this is where you will find a listing of some of the new materials that we have received. Simply clicking on an image will allow you to see which of our 5 locations will have that particular item. Our widgets are located to the left. We have a widget for Ask a Librarian, and there are about 8 ways that you can get assistance. The library has its own YouTube channel where we have created videos and placed them there for your use later on. The 360 virtual tour can be used to view the interior of our 5 locations. The library webinars are online presentations similar to this one, so you can view the schedule of upcoming sessions, and if your schedule allows, we invite you to attend. We have a social media platform of Facebook. Branch hours and info will not only give you that information, but you can see a listing of staff members. And the last thing says report a problem. So if you encounter any type of technical issues, please report it here so that we can take care of it in a timely manner. As I scroll up under links, I would like to go to library services. And on this page, I am selecting circulation. And there are just 3 things I would like to quickly talk about. Under checkout procedure, you can see that your college ID is required in order to check out any materials from our locations. It is a campus policy that you're supposed to have your college ID on you at all times, so I need you to be mindful of that. As I scroll down, the next area will say borrowing use agreements. As a Southwest student, you have access to use the resources at the various libraries that are listed here. Now, of course, we all are closed now due to the pandemic, but whenever we are back to our normal operating hours, keep in mind that you can use these resources. Now, I need you to be aware that you must have your Southwest ID, and you need to be aware of what you can and you can't do whenever you visit. So if you decided to visit a Category A school like Christian Brothers University, they will allow you to borrow materials from their location. If you decided to visit a Category D school like the University of Memphis Cecil C. Humphreys School of Law, they would allow you to use the resources, but you cannot check anything out. So keep in mind that we may not have every item that you need while you are students, but we partner with these other schools to make sure that you at least will have access if you are flexible to travel to those locations. At the bottom of the page, we have rules of conduct, and I'm sure that you have heard these before, but I would like to go over them. We ask everyone to monitor their noise level because the library is a place where students should be able to come in and study without a loss of distractions. So if someone is disturbing you, please inform a staff member. Number two says do not bring in food or beverages. At the Bourn Library on the Macon Cove campus, we do have the Cyber Cafe, and that is a place where you can go eat and drink small items and then come back out into the library. Number three says do not misuse library property, and we're only asking that you be respectful. So please don't come in and put your feet up in chairs. Please don't sit on the tables. Don't write on our property, and please don't lie down and decide to take a nap midday. Just simply be respectful. The last one asks you to place your cell phones on vibrate and long conversations are not allowed. So this is not saying that you can't use your cell phones, but we need you to be mindful of the noise level. So please do not come in and place your phone on speaker and decide to have a conversation with someone. Please do not FaceTime anyone in the library. If you need to do those, please step outside, finish your conversation, and then come back in. I invite you to come back to this page later on to view some of the other information that is provided. At this point, I'm going back to the library's homepage. Now we're going to our databases page. At the very top, it says this is where you would locate ebooks, multimedia items, journal, and magazine articles. Because we are working remotely, a Southwest username and password will be required for remote access. Now, on our page, you'll find that we have a listing of very broad categories. And as you expand each category, there will be a listing of databases that we maintain. If ever you have an assignment and you have been directed to use a certain source, you can easily go to the A to Z resource page if you're not sure which category that database will fall up under. Now, for my searches today, I would like to use criminal justice as my topics in order to find information. So let's start with the category of careers. Now, when I expand careers, as you can see, I have a listing of databases. These are the subscriptions we maintain. You have a listing of recommended websites, and then we have a video under multimedia if you would like to view this to get an entire listing of different ways that you can get career information. With a criminal justice major, you may not be sure what type of career you actually want to venture into. So I would like for you to see the Ferguson's Career Guidance Center. And remember, we're working remotely. So normally it would ask us to log in with our Southwest credentials, but I've been on the computer and did not shut the session down, so it did not ask me that. But just keep in mind, you will have to do that before you get to this point. So with the Ferguson's Career Guidance Center, I want to perform a quick search for criminal justice. As you can see, I've done it before, so I'm simply selecting it and now searching. I have 189 results for criminal justice. Over to the right-hand side, you have the ability to narrow your results down by one of the options to get advice articles, industry overviews. The My Life profile will be where people are actually in the profession and talking about it. There may even be a video here that you can view. When we look at our results, the occupation is listed as our hot link. It pulls a couple of sentences from the source. It will identify the source that the information is coming from. It tells us what type of information it is. And we have the ability to save information in a folder. So I simply want to select the first one. And now the information that I am given is an industry overview of criminal justice. So as I scroll down, keep in mind that first of all, I have an overview. I have tools that are listed at the top. I have related industries listed. I have a category that says background. I have a listing of related careers that I could do further research on if I would like. I see structure, industry outlook, and then I have resources and associations if you would like to get additional information from these professional associations. And at the very bottom, you have the citation information. So in case you were using this not just for personal use, but for an assignment, you could cite your information in MLA or Chicago's Manual of Style. Now, as I scroll back up, I also want to point out that when you graduate, you can use this to search for current jobs in this area. And I think that's a big plus for students. So, if you're not sure what you want to do with a criminal justice degree, I suggest that you come to the Ferguson's Career Guidance Center. We're back at our listing of databases and also up under recommended websites. You may want to go to Occupational Outlook Handbook and the ONET Online. The next place we are going is to the category of current events. Under current events, let's go to America's News. This is our largest newspaper database. It has over 11,000 sources. So not only can we simply perform a search, but as I scroll down, there are suggested topics that will give you articles that have been collected for you. So with criminal justice, we could just easily go here and get a listing of various topics that have been collected. So if by chance I wanted to look at information on terrorism, once I select this, I'm now just waiting to see what it actually compiles for me. I have 3,613 results based upon using terrorism or terrorists, finding letters, finding articles that are more than 500 words, and my dates will be the past 6 months. So, with the listing of results, what we actually have is the titles of your articles are listed first. You have the date, you have the name of the source that they came from, the name of the person responsible, and then you may have the reading level. Let me just scroll down just a little bit more and just making sure that I look at this particular one. If by chance you wanted to get a preview of the article to make sure that it was something that you could use, you could view the preview, and from there you can go directly to the document. So now that I want to see the full text of this article, it is now available for me to read. In addition, I could easily listen to this being read to me. All of our databases will have a core set of tools. The tools in American News are listed across the top, and the most important one is Cite. So these are places or tools that you could export your citation off to, but all of these are not free. Some of these require a subscription. The most important part for you will be the styles which are listed in this area. For criminal justice, I would think that you are always told that your papers should be in APA. So if I select APA, what you should now notice is that it has been created for us. Now, this is a computer software, so you still would need to proof it to make sure that it's done correctly because there is some additional formatting that needs to be done. But this is a shortcut for you that it has done at least this much for you. Your additional tools or as I just scroll across the top, you have your navigational buttons to go back. You could go to the previous page or go to the next citation. So if you have a topic that is very current in the news, find that a newspaper article is your best source. I am simply closing this out and I'm back at my listing of databases. And the next place I would like to go is database collections. Under database collections, I want you to see TEL, which is the Tennessee Electronic Library. And I want to point out that if you would like to watch a quick video on how to use TEL, you can always refer to that here. TEL is a very user-friendly video. Um, I'm so sorry. It's a very user-friendly database that has over 60 titles. And what I would like to do is search through all of these titles at one time to find information on my topic. So the first thing that I need to do is to click on Select All. My search option is where I have the word Find. And my topic will be, let's see, juvenile justice. So now I am searching and waiting to see how many results I actually find. Under showing results for, it has found over 5,000 general magazine articles on my topic. Academic journals revealed over 10,000, and these are more scholarly type publications. I have a large number of books, a very large number of newspaper articles. There are images available, and then I have some video clips. You can easily filter your information possibly by publication date or document type. I suggest you always select full text because you don't want to just review a abstract or just a citation. So now everything that I will look at is guaranteed to be a full text article. As we look at our citations, keep in mind that everything will not be something that you can use. So at this point, you need to use your best judgment skills. The title of your articles are listed first, followed by your author's name, followed by the source that it came from. The date is provided along with the number of words in the article and the type of article it is along with the reading level. Using your best judgment skills, let me scroll down to select an article. And I think that I like this one. So once I select the title, the full text of the article now displays for me, and you have two sets of tools. You have tools across the top, and one of them does say cite, and you can cite this in MLA 8, APA 6, or Chicago 17th. And once again, you can export this out if you would like to. Before I start reading the article, I have a tool that says translate. So for international students, it may be easier to read this in your native language to understand the article a little bit better. Due to your preference, you can enlarge or decrease the font size. You have the ability to listen to this if you would like. If you have a Gmail account, you can send this to your Google Drive instead of trying to print it out. Using your Southwest credentials, you can send this to the Microsoft OneDrive. You can easily share it with somebody using a different email account. And now I want to show you what download and highlights and notes will do. If you like using a highlighter when you normally have a print resource, you can use it here also. So basically, if I was reading through this article and I knew that I like this sentence here, simply taking my mouse, I can highlight it. When I release the mouse, there's an option that says highlight, notes, and define. If I select highlight, I could choose the color of my choice and it highlights this. So I could go through the entire article, highlighting those things that are most important, and then I could download those highlighted sections only. So the Tennessee Electronic Library is very simple to use. I know at this point in your life, you possibly feel very comfortable using popular search engines. I just need you to keep in mind that as college students, your professors expect more from you than just performing a Google search. At least with our databases, this is authoritative and credible information that you don't have to guess or try to figure out if it's credible or not. And it's the moment you start feeling comfortable with the databases, you'll find that they're just as simple or better to use. And there are lots of great tools to make this a better experience for you. I'm closing out TEL, and I want you to know that ProQuest Central can be used for the same purpose. There are multiple titles, and you can perform a federated search. The next place we're going is to the category of electronic books. On the electronic books, I am using Net Library, which is our largest ebook collection. There are about 265,000 books in this collection. So let's perform a search for criminology. Sometimes your textbook may be a bit scholarly, so you may be looking for alternative books to help simplify the subject matter for you. So we have 1,647 criminology books that are available. The full content of these books are available. In your citations, you have the title, you have your author's name, you have the publishing information. If I wanted to view this book, I would just simply select the title. I now have a listing of the different tools that are provided. I have a description of the book. And over to the left-hand side, these are my options. I am selecting PDF full text, which loads the book up for me. The table of contents is provided over to the left-hand side if I want to go to a certain chapter. I have tools across the top that I can use. And the ways to navigate through this book will be either scrolling down to go from one page to the other, or I could use the navigational arrows to go from left to right. So the entire book is available here for your use. And this is Net Library. There are other ebook collections available for you to use. The next place I would like to go is to the category of exams. And under exams, I would like for you to see Prep Step if you're not familiar with it. This is a database that will provide you with ebooks, online tutorials, and also practice exams. So if you're taking a math course, you may want to come to core math and science skills to view some tutorials. We have core English skills. The college success skills will help you learn how to take notes, how to take tests, how to just be a better college student. Career preparation is where you would go if you have a certification exam you need to prepare for. The Computer Skills Center, you can watch videos to learn how to use the different Microsoft applications. Once you're going off to grad school, you can use this module. We have one for placement test preparation. For high school students, you have ACT and SAT. We have one for GED or HISIC as they refer to it now, and then there's a foreign language one. In order to use this, what you would need to do is register to create your own account so you could track your progress. Now, what I noticed about this one is that I have to go all the way back out for some reason. And I need to make sure that we correct that. So let me get back to our databases. My next category will be the category of multimedia because some students are more visual type learners. And I want you to be aware of the Master Academic Collection. This collection has over 41,000 titles. So let's see what comes up when I perform a search for criminals. Okay, 1,609 results. So you're able to view these videos at your desktop. So if I like the second one, I simply select the title. This cues the video up for me. I have the ability to watch or read the entire transcript. I can watch certain segments. You can view it in its entirety, view the closed captioning, or view it in full screen mode. Your tools are listed here. You have a description of the video, and then you may want to use the tags that are assigned to find other similar type um, videos or streaming media to watch. I also want to point out that we have something called feature films for education, and these are more motion picture type things that are based upon educational themes. So for this particular database, I would suggest you go to Browse All Titles, and you'll have an alphabetical listing of all of the videos that we have in this particular collection, and you are able to view these as a Southwest student. Okay, now I'm moving to the third thing on my list, which was What can we provide to help you with writing assignments? So, under grammar, I want to point out that under recommended websites, we have some great tools. Like we have something to help you with building your thesis. Research Help is a document that the librarians actually created. There's something on essay writing, there's dictionaries here, there are even things to help you with citing, and even an assignment calculator to help you stay on task. So let's quickly look at the Thesis Builder. After you have completed your research and you're ready to start building a thesis statement, simply populate this chart by answering these questions. What's the topic you want to write about? What's your main opinion on the topic? What's the strongest argument supporting your opinion? What's a second good argument to support your opinion? And in your mind, you could change this to what is a third good argument that supports your opinion if you're doing an informative type paper. Create a title. And when you click on Build a Thesis, based upon what you have placed here, it will generate a thesis statement for you. Now, if you don't like what it has provided, you can at least revise it because it's in the correct format. It is not plagiarism as long as you don't copy and paste something from a resource and use it as your own. If you were to go to make an online outline, it will place everything in outline format for you so that you could stay on target when you're actually writing your paper, and it will give you suggestions of how to build up each section of your paper. In addition to the thesis builder, you can also go to the thesis statement generator if you're working on a comparison contrast type paper. Now, once you have written your paper, before you turn it into your instructor, you may want to go to Grammarly. Now, Grammarly is available in the free version, okay, but this will give you access to the premium version of it. And in order for you to have access to it, you need to register. It asks you for your name. You must use a Southwest email, and then it asks you for a password. When you click on sign up, an email goes to your Southwest email, and you have to complete the verification process there. So when you have an account established, you could copy and paste whatever you have written into Grammarly, and Grammarly will proof it for grammatical errors, spelling errors, and also plagiarism. It will highlight every problem that it finds. It will give you an explanation on why that is a problem. It will make suggestions of how you can correct it, or you can simply ignore it if you want. But this will help you to take care of those some minor things that you weren't aware of. And then it will help you to improve your writing skills because you won't continue to make those same mistakes over and over again. So I would highly suggest that before you turn in any written assignment, that you let Grammarly proof it for you. I'm closing this out. I'm going back to the library's homepage. And now let me just quickly talk about information literacy. Information literacy is knowing when you need information, the ability to locate that information, evaluating it, and then putting it to good use. So think about a past assignment that you've had, and these are the steps that you should go through in order to make sure that you complete that assignment in a timely fashion. The first thing you need to do is make sure you fully understand the assignment by asking questions of the instructor, not just depending on a classmate. The second thing you should do is start brainstorming about the different places where you can go to start gathering your information to work on this assignment. So just in case the first place you go don't yield the results you're looking for, you have an alternative place to go. The third thing you should do is to start locating your information. So I've been showing you places where you can gather information, especially for a research project. The fourth thing tells you to evaluate your information, making sure that it's current, making sure that it's credible, making sure that it meets every criteria that the instructor has provided for you. And if you're using the internet, you also have to make sure that you are proofing it to make sure that it is valuable and credible information. The fifth thing you have to do is start on your assignment in a timely manner. Never wait until the last minute. So, a good practice is to complete the assignment early, place it to the side, and come back maybe a day or so later and review it with fresh eyes. And the last step is that it's just a continuously learning process. Think about the entire process you've been through. And if you notice that there's something you could have done differently, start doing that going forward. Like you may notice that you didn't ask the right question, or maybe you didn't spend enough time working on that assignment. Always be in a mode of self improvement. Okay, now we're at the point of where I want to show you an alternative to using the databases page because some students just really like that Google experience of doing everything in one place. So let's say that I wanted to find information on drunk driving. This is our discovery service. So when I search for drunk driving, it is pulling together all of the resources we have on that topic. And as you can see, it came up with 1,106,478. Now, this number is too massive. You can look at it from here, but I suggest that you narrow your results down. Over to the left-hand side, the first thing I am selecting is full text online, which is taking any print resources out of the equation. Under content types, I would just rather deal with magazine articles, but you have more listings that are provided. And under publication dates, I'm looking for very current information, so I want to deal with the last 3 years. And that number has come down quite a bit. You're given some related topics that you may want to use also. When I look at my citations, I have the title of the article, I have the author's name, I have the source and its date, and one or two sentences pulled from it. I have these icons over to the side that are my tools to help me. I want you to keep in mind that sometimes students cite the item from here, but this is citing this citation. If you wanted to cite this particular article, you would need to actually look at the article. So I'm waiting for the article, and this is the site that I need to use to cite this particular article. The only drawback that I really have with using the discovery service is that you never know how long your articles are because as you can see, this one that I just looked at, it was a very short article. So I would just rather be able to know in advance how many words are in the article. I'm back at the library's homepage and we're at the point of where I want to go to ask a librarian. How do you get help later on? Well, if you would like to work with a librarian individually, you can request a research coach. Simply come and complete this form letting us know what is a good time, and a librarian will contact you and set up a session, whether it is just a telephone session. We can't do anything in person, but they may set up a session similar to what I'm doing now. And this will be about a 15 or 20-minute session to help you get started, and we're helping you with the bulleted items. We will not proof any papers for you. When we are actually online for live chat, this will say we're online, click to chat, and these are our hours of operation. You can use this number to send us a text message. If you send a text outside of our hours of operation, that message will stay parked until we actually log on and then we can respond. You could chat with us on our Facebook page. When it comes to using the telephone numbers, we have staff members who are responding to any messages that are left for us. We have librarians embedded in all of the online classes. So if you go to the class list, you'll see Ask a Librarian. So you can ask us questions there and we will respond. BombGuard is a software that has allowed us to remote out to your computer so that you can share your screens whenever you're having problems. This is our departmental email that we will respond to. And of course, we still have report a problem here for your convenience. So I'm back at the library's homepage, and I have covered everything that I wanted to show you about the Infonet Library. So I hope that you at least will start thinking differently whenever you have your next assignment to remember that the library is a good source of information for you. You don't necessarily have to come into the libraries now because we have all of these digital resources available for you. So I do hope that this has been informative and I hope that you will start looking at the library differently. I hope that you have a great day and that you have a wonderful semester. Bye bye.